Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for downloading episode 118 of We Got This with Mark and Hal. We are coming to Philadelphia, y'all. So excited for this. We're going to be part of the Philadelphia Podcast Festival. Our show is Friday, July 21st, 2017. 8 p.m. at Ruba Club. That's down in Northern Liberties in Philadelphia itself. So if you're in New York, if you're in New Jersey, if you're in Philly, if you're in Delaware, and you can make it down for that show, it is going to be a blast. There are regular tickets available, and in addition to that, we have VIP tickets. What does that mean? That means you get to come for a meet and greet, hang out with Mark and I before the show. You also get a signed poster. And the space it's in is super cool. Philadelphia got built up in the 17 years since I've lived there regularly. So come on down. The show is going to be a blast. We can't wait to see you. You can get tickets at bit.ly/We Got Philly, PHILLY, all lowercase. Go do it now. And also, right now, enjoy episode 118 of We Got This with Mark and Hal. Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all, best carnival ride.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcasts should have a theme song. Podcasts should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Whoa! 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 Oh, man, I think I'm going to throw up. Why do we do this to ourselves?
Because we like to have fun and be amused, Mark. That's what we do.
Did this intro just feel like the beginning of an episode of Good Eats? It was the We Got This equivalent of a Good Eats opening.
It was just a matter of time before we did that, right?
That's fair. Shout out to Alton Brown. We're huge fans.
Yes.
Today we are talking about carnival rides and what is the best all-time carnival ride. And before we went live with the recording, or let's be honest, recorded with the living, Hal, you started to say that, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be whichever one is the craziest that messes your brain up that people shouldn't get on. Those aren't the best carnival rides.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I'm just trying to establish a world that we're living in. So
those are the most insane carnival rides.
But I mean, like every carnival, like you've gotten on bumper cars where you're like,
sure.
Oh, these have never been serviced. And every time I see the ceiling,
bumper cars, spoiler alert, are not going to get very far.
But like every time you see like the little spark hit on the ceilings, it's got those contacts up there. You just know, like, we're always seconds away from, like, it wouldn't be a slow fire. It would be like a, and then we would all just be ash and drop into piles. This is, by the way,
because we're the bumper cars are inevitably right next to the game where you win the giant dry plush polyurethane teddy bear, and nowhere near the game that is you shooting a stream of water into a clown's mouth. They should always put that one. No, because electrical fire you can't put water on. No, we're all gonna die.
This was suggested by Mike Martinez in our Facebook group, and it was so good that I immediately texted you and said, I have our topic.
Yes. And I originally thought of amusement parks, theme parks included in this. But then we realized, no, we've already done the best Disneyland ride, and there's not going to be a ride at Six Flags or Universal that beats the best of the Disneyland rides. So we're taking theme parks off of it. But I don't want to take away all of the great possibilities, because I have one that I think is going to be tough to beat, and it is a specific one.
Okay. Well, to me, I think of this as like, State Fair is stretching it, but it's sort of State Fair. It's stuff that packs up, travels.
Sure.
In Philly growing up, I used to go to something called the June Fete, Fete, which was, it was held by a hospital, the name of which is, St. Jean's, or Jean's Hospital. And they would set up like a little carnival, and there were some.
Hold on a second. There's a big difference between St. Jean's and Jean's Hospital. Like, is this Jean written in neon, or is it jeans with an apostrophe at the end?
Everybody there,
like she's all in denim.
No, yeah, everybody's wearing a Canadian tuxedo inside.
Oh, Anne Murray, go ahead.
That's the first and maybe only time she'll be mentioned on this podcast.
Maybe not. What would Anne Murray think is, cause she's very gentle. She's a gentle soul, that Anne Murray was. God rest her soul. Is she dead?
I don't know. Okay. Apparently you think she is.
I do.
Big insult if she's alive.
I don't know. I'm going to check this out. Anne Murray.
While you're doing that, I think what we're talking about.
Still alive.
Thank goodness. Anne, we're so glad you're with us. Come on the show anytime.
Please do.
One of us always thought you were alive.
I'm so sorry about your loss. I'm going to check if she's lost anyone. No, that's terrible.
So anyway, so let's talk about carnival ride. Did you go to a lot of carnivals as a kid?
I never went to a ton because they didn't really come through Knoxville so much. It wasn't until I lived in Los Angeles, specifically in North Hollywood, where a big carnival would come through the park right near where I lived, at least once a year, maybe twice a year. And I love them.
And you also grew up near Dollywood, so you had a major amusement park nearby.
Right, exactly.
So let's go into some of the staples of an amusement park or a carnival. You'll find carnival rides at an amusement park. For example, at Disney, they have a few different carousels. They've had a carousel there since they opened in 1955. But
the Carousel of Progress?
Yes, the Carousel of Progress.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make this impossible for me. I can just tell.
Yeah. Oh, Hal, look, man, you knew what you were getting into when you did a carnival ride episode with me.
That's true.
Just like people know what they're getting into. Here's my problem with carnivals.
Go ahead.
You deliberately get in a machine whose only job is to make you sick. You know that's what it's there for.
Right.
That's why it exists. The brain scrambler, the blast facer, the whatever. I don't know. The devil's wheel. I'm looking at just some of these names on this list in front of me right now. Fireball, free fall. Free fall is the worst. But some of these things are just designed. They put you in like little hydraulic arms and they spin you around and try to kill you. And you know this. And how have we evolved as a species to have this as a thing we do?
Because it's the only way we know we're still alive, Mark.
Sorry, say that again.
Because it's the only way we know we're still alive, Mark.
Oh, jeez.
Have you ever thrown up from a ride?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What?
I can't do spinny.
Okay.
We talked about this on the Disney one. I cannot do the Mad Teacups. So anything that spins a tilt-a-whirl, which is basically the Mad Tea Party is just an untilted tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah.
And I can't do those. I am bad at anything that spins me around. It makes me sick. I love linear roller coasters. Love roller coasters. And I love a Ferris wheel and I love a carousel. And I love log flumes. These are the rides, Hal, not this put you in some garbage and spin you around until you throw up the Cheetos you just bought for $6.
Well, I don't like those either, to be fair. I don't think anything whose purpose is to make you throw up is a fun ride. Like, I'll give you an example, okay? The Gravitron, which is also called the Hellhole in some places. You're familiar with this ride?
That is where it spins you really fast and you just slam up against the wall.
Yes, you are, but because of centripetal force, you are thrown outward and you are.
Did you say centripetal?
Yes, it's centripetal.
It's not centrifugal?
I think it's centripetal. Once a science teacher was like, everybody says centrifugal, but it's actually centripetal. So I'm saying that. Could be wrong. I know we have scientists out there who are way smarter than me. Go ahead and correct me. I'm inviting you this one time to do it. But, you know, the story of every Gravitron is either I threw up and it flew back in my face, or I saw somebody else throw up and it flew back in their face. And
which made you throw up.
Right. Yeah. It became like a Stand By Me Royal Order of Buffalo. Just everybody threw up.
But if you were slowing down just at the right time at the end of the ride, like you threw up and you saw it go out and then it was coming right back toward your face, but you were slowing down just enough that you watched it make the arc like a sinker from a major league pitcher.
Just drop. Oh,
yeah.
Gross. So nasty.
Better than it hitting you in the face, pal.
I guess so. Is it? Because then it goes on your pants.
Why?
Look, man, everybody's peed their pants. How many times have you puked your pants? Right? Yeah, you didn't think about that.
Well, it's also, you know what? Yeah, nobody ever pukes their pants. Also, nobody ever a little when they burp. Sorry, I know I swore on that. We never swear on this show, but
That's true. You make a very good point. But what I'm trying to do, like, there are different types of rides. Those are the rides that are intended to give you an extreme experience. So an extreme experience is being slammed up against the wall. Basically, you're going through astronaut training.
But that one I like in particular because it's not just trying to give you a sick experience, which is a terrible idea. What it's trying to give you is a unique experience. It's rare that you feel gravity pushing you, against a wall instead of against a floor. So that's what's fun about the Gravitron. I don't mind the Gravitron spinning me around. It doesn't make me sick. I know what the sensation I'm going in there for is. It's the stuff that is just like, this thing shakes you. Like, gross.
And you don't like any of the ones so there's stuff, so the Tilt-A-Whirl, there's also like the top scan and the top spin, which are ones where you're in like a personalized cage and it swings around, but then independent of that, you're swinging around either in the opposite direction or the same direction. Independently moving. Okay, you don't like that.
Nope.
I would not go on.
I'm staying in the car, Hal. We're going to this carnival. I'm staying in the car.
Okay. You know what? I'm not going to make you get out because I would not go on that ride either. I think one of the things we're talking about here, the very best ride would be a ride that anybody can go on and enjoy. Is that fair to say? Not even you must be this tall, but like
just something you'll enjoy. Everyone will have fun.
Yes. I think that eliminates.
We sound like such grandpas.
But does that eliminate the merry-go-round too? Because that can be super boring for people. I like it because it's like a respite from everything else.
I don't want to give the carousel or the merry-go-round a immediate dismissal like that though, because those are some of the most beautifully crafted, like as works of art, a carousel can be stunning.
Right.
One of the things they teach you when you work at Disneyland, do you know the difference between a carousel and a merry-go-round?
I don't. Oh, wait, I think I do.
Okay. I have not looked this up lately. I could be wrong. I should probably open a Wikipedia window for this one.
Here's my guess.
Okay.
The carousel does not play music and the merry-go-round does. Alternate answer. The carousel, the pieces don't move and the merry-go-round, they go up and down.
That is the answer that I have always heard, is that a carousel goes up, at least in the way that we grew up knowing them. Carousels go up and down, and a merry-go-round stays stationary.
Okay.
I've also heard that a carousel is only horses, but I'm not sure that that's even a real thing anymore. Like that a merry-go-round could have other animals, but a carousel is always horses. I don't know if this is just some PL Travers super fans or what.
But isn't it like usually like let's say it's a traditional one where it's all horses and like a bench for the parents? It just doesn't move.
It is weird that there's like there's a few stationary bench ones on there.
That's really like, I like the idea of being on one of these, but I don't like all the thrills that going up and down provide.
Yeah. Or I just have to watch my kid.
Yeah. I'm just going to sit there and watch my kid on one of these horsies.
Wasn't Bored at a Merry-Go-Round what made Walt Disney invent Disneyland?
Maybe.
Wasn't he watching his kid on a merry-go-round and just totally bored? And he was like, man, there should be a place that has some stuff for grown-ups too.
I don't know. Let's make that the truth now.
Yeah. You know what? Now it's canon. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah. Do you remember the time that Walt Disney just saw a lizard and got bored and then they had Pete's Dragon? He was like, what if that thing was bigger and had orange hair and his name was Elliot? That would be a lot more interesting.
You remember that time that Walt Disney was on mushrooms while on that steamboat?
Yes, I do. Of course. I was there. Yeah.
It's amazing what that guy has come up with.
Yeah, it really is.
Also, do you remember when he invented the multiplane camera so that he could create vast dynamic differences and show depth in a motion picture?
Nerd.
Oh, while he was on mushrooms.
Yeah. Let's talk about another ride that sucks.
All right. Look, you may not like the carousel, so we're going to probably eliminate it. But I want to give a shout out to the carousel as an absolutely most often and more often than any other ride, in my opinion, is a beautiful work of art.
I love carousels. I love
you. You were bad mouthing carousels left and right.
Look, we're moving on. We're not even talking about carousels anymore. I don't know why you're talking about this.
Why do we do this?
Can we talk about these dumb bungee rides?
Oh, hold on. The line is going up a little bit. By the way, listeners, we're doing all of this while standing in line for a carnival ride.
Oh, hold on. Let me move up. Okay, great. Now, don't you hate these bungee things where they're like, we're going to slingshot you into the sun, but don't worry. You're actually strapped in. Joke's on you.
Yeah, you're strapped into this cage where Mola Ram can reach in and pull out your heart at any time.
Yeah, but we're also going to go twang.
Yeah. You know what would have been great in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? If he'd gone, Kalima Shakti Te, Om Nam Shivaya, and then pew, shot out through the top of that cave.
And they have those, have you ever seen the videos of people on that ride? Where they're like,
I've been on that ride.
And then they pass out, and then they scream, and then they pass out. There are a lot of videos like that.
Is it the going up makes you pass out, the going down makes you scream?
I don't know. All
or
I
the
know
reverse?
Is it seems like the earth is moving a whole lot behind them, and it's very frightening, and it seems like, I already think bungee jumping seems like a very dumb premise. But
bungee jumping I really like. That is a lot of fun. Are we counting that?
This is almost dumber. No, we're not counting that.
All right.
You don't hold a carnival off the edge of a bridge. And these dumb things with
how do you know, man? I'm going down to that carnival. You heard about the one. It's Gene's Carnival.
Yeah. How dare you? Gene's is a fine, upstanding hospital, and their June fate is a wonder to behold.
Yeah. They have the Gene Slinger. That's just what they call one of the carnival guys. It's not a ride.
Yeah.
Here comes the Gene Slinger. Should we talk carnies?
Yeah.
They are wonderful people who have gotten a bum rep. I have known some. I have loved some. And I don't like the way that they're being disparaged in pop culture of late.
Are you talking right now, or are you just reading the lyrics to a Chris Christopherson song? I've known some and I loved some.
Actually, Tom Waits is just whispering in my ear, and it's only raining on him. It's really weird in here right now.
Oh, I thought that was somebody just pouring a cup of gravel into a funnel. Tom Waits, that's so cool. What are rides that you hate? I just want to get rid of some of these dumb ones. The bungee ones have got to go. They're dumbness. That is.
I've already eliminated all the ones that are designed to make you sick. But I would like to give a particular honorable mention to an absolutely insane ride called the Flying Circus von Barth.
What?
Have you ever heard of the Flying Circus von Barth? Imagine if you were in the tank that was only seconds ago shooting at a now very angry Incredible Hulk.
Right.
And he grabbed you by the barrel of your tank's super mega gun and just did whatever he wanted to blow off some steam at this tank that was shooting at him. That could be slamming you into the ground. That could be swinging it over his head for a minute. That could just be violently shaking you. That's what the Flying Circus von Barth is. Those are the rides that I do not like. Another one that I don't know where this fits in my mind. I have ones that beat this, I think.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm not going to just say rides that I hate, because the only ones that I really hate are the ones that make you sick. I'm going to go lower on the totem pole of rides that I like.
Okay.
And I will start with the swings. I'm a big fan of the chain swing that you sit in, you strap in, and all it does is it goes up and it spins, and you get a lovely 360-degree view of the park.
On a hot summer day, it feels really good. You get a little breeze going.
Being the blade of the giant fan. Yeah.
Yeah, you do the thing where you Superman your arms out, or Supergirl as it is, and you can sort of position your legs like you're flying. It is a lot of fun. That is a fun ride. That was one of my favorites as a kid.
There is also, if you are interested in going to, where is this place? Six Flags Over Texas.
Okay.
There is something called the Giant Star Flyer, which is that exact ride, but it is 40 stories up.
No, I don't want to go on that ride.
I mean, you do get a nice view.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you get a real nice view of heaven the second that thing breaks. Every Six Flags has like stories, especially the one out here, which is Six Flags Magic Mountain. Like there was a several month period where There was a story in the news, like almost every week, of like the Superman ride shuts down, 4 people almost plunged to their death. Thankfully, there was a tree there. Like, everything broke.
Yeah, Superman was notorious for that. You would go to Six Flags. For those who don't live in Southern California, which I assume is most everyone, the Six Flags in Southern California is filled with ginormous roller coasters. World-class. Six Flags parks are known for their giant world-class roller coasters. But yeah, you would go and you would stand in line for 3 hours, and every time you would pass a certain point in line, you'd look out and you'd be like, oh, there's Superman, and it's broken again. You just want to make sure that you're not there at the top of it when it happens. Because that is the one, those are the people that wind up on the news.
Right. Like you can control it.
Yeah. Watching people stuck at the top of a Knott's Berry Farm or a Six Flags drop ride is almost as frequent in Los Angeles as watching a car chase on television. In my experience. To be fair, I only watch the Carnival News Network, CNN.
With Anderson Whooper. Now, let's talk about the fun slide.
And Soledad, whoa, Brian.
So dumb.
That is so dumb. I'm sorry, listeners. We may have lost you at that point.
If you didn't, then here's one that'll make you do it. How about Jake Zapper?
I'm done. I'll see you later, Hal.
Yep. Good episode. Good knowing you.
Good night.
Let's talk about the fun slide.
Yes, the fun slide is where they give you a burlap bag that's like what you get when you go to jail to sleep in.
Yeah.
And then they push you down a like bumpy slide, right?
Correct. That is all it is.
Yeah, that's fun. It's nothing. It's like I did this on a playground as a child and there wasn't a line.
Yeah, you have to walk.
And I didn't need a ticket to do it.
There's so many steps like to walk up that it's like the end of Ghostbusters. You just have to go up and up and up. And then you're down. You don't even go that fast. Although there are great videos of like a kid goes down and then the mom goes down and the mom is much bigger. So that kid becomes a bowling pin. And I always assume, look, I feel better watching these videos. I always believe nobody got seriously hurt. But,
yeah, you know what? That kid right now, no longer with us.
Oh, no.
No. He ran off with a carnival. He had so much fun.
He rides that slide all the time now. Do you like the rides where you sit? It's like a tower. And then you sit on a ring of seats, so you're facing outward, and you ascend to the top, and then it free falls. Like a free fall.
I guess I would.
Tower.
I like that I can see out and see everything around. I prefer the view. Like, I guess I was sort of spoiled by working at Disneyland for so long because I rode the Tower of Terror as my job for a whole month, as you know.
Right.
When I was playing a ghost on it. So I free fell 35 times a day for a month. So that kind of beat the whole free fall, novelty out of me. I feel like these things are designed to give your body a novelty. I feel the same way about the Gravitron that I do about a free fall. Their one job is to make you feel a way that you've never felt before or that you feel rarely.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with them. But I'm not, huge on it because I felt that sensation a million times. Make sense? What about you?
I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of heights and I will go on rides that have a big climb. Like I don't like loops. Love them don't go upside down, which I've said before on this show. But I like roller coasters. I don't mind going on ones where there's a big steep climb and then you fall and then there are like twists and stuff. That just seems to me like it's just too hitting the nail on the head. Cause that's part of it. It's like the thrill. It's going to give you.
Want to feel what falling's like? Here's it once.
Yeah, I know.
I want my fall combined with other things.
Yeah, I know exactly what it's like to fall. I've tripped. I don't want to fall from heights. Like,
sure.
Cause really those rides are like, what if you died? I don't want that. That's not an amusement or a thrill to me. I'm not that kind of a thrill seeker, which I'm sure is a big surprise to you.
No, not actually. You know what is surprising, Hal? Not a big surprise to me.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that's really weird.
What a huge surprise. Now, you
won't eat vegetables that are a color you don't like.
Well, I'm sorry that I am a connoisseur of the aesthetic. Do you like loops? You'll do loops. Right?
Yeah, I like loops. I like loops. I have fun in looping roller coasters. I like the one that's just like for me, it's linear. It's getting spun around in a circle that I don't like. If something is linear and I know what the path is, I like the one that's a giant pendulum that swings really high and goes over the top. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
I like the one that is just a loop. I like corkscrews. Fireball, sure. As long as I'm on a track. I like being on a track. Or in a linear motion.
Let me suggest one to you that I think could be a contender.
Okay.
And that is the pirate ship or Viking ship.
That's the one that goes the pendulum.
It is a pendulum. It doesn't go all the way around, but it does go almost entirely vertical.
Okay.
So that you are all of a sudden facing straight down at the ground. And it does it somewhat gradually, but you also have, you're facing each other, these two groups of people. And I really enjoy that ride. That's like just enough.
It's fun. Yeah.
For me. Yeah.
It's a good level of, and it's fun for kids. Kids go nuts on that ride because each time you go a little higher.
Do you hate manufactured screaming on a ride as much as I do?
What do you mean manufactured? Like
when like
if I'm forced to scream, so I scream.
No,
or like little kids who get on just to scream.
Yeah, or adults. Adults do it too. It's not kids. It's not just kids. It's people who get on. And they're doing like a scream. It's sort of like the people in the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland where the lights go out and you hear the they pump in the screams, but then other people just sort of scream to add to it. That drives me nuts.
Really? It never really bothered me. I didn't think about it until now, but now that you say it, I'm probably going to ninja star the next person that does it around me.
Exactly. Cause you know what? They're taking away from the experience. If somebody's authentically afraid, and you can tell when somebody is, like that's part of the fun. But somebody who just sort of screams into the darkness, come on, don't.
Yeah, but look, man, if you get annoyed at carnivals by one or a group of ones who are being bozos, you're going to be in trouble, man, because that's what you do at a carnival. I remember being 14, 15, and we did crap like that. Part of it was like, I can get away with dumb things like this is screaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't get really upset with people who are just kind of letting loose. It's a carnival. Your job is to let loose.
Okay. All right. I understand. Look, I get that it's probably me being stodgy. That's why I brought it up. I wanted to hear what you thought about it.
All right. I understand where you're coming from. But I don't think that their intent is to make someone else's trip worse. Their intent is to be a show off. And you know what? Be a show off. It's fine. You're at a carnival. It's fun.
Okay. All right.
Maybe I'm overly lenient with show offs because I grew up one. Yeah.
Yeah. That's possible.
Just a 38-year-old mansplaining show off.
Every lady's dream. How do you feel about, is something like a fun house, does that count to you as a ride? Because you have to walk through it. You count that.
No, I will count it because there are some that you don't have to walk through. There are, one of the best ones I've been to is at, Dino's Wonder Wheel Park in Coney Island. Shout out to Dino. They have a haunted house there that normally I would think that of like a haunted house as well. Where there is a ride and a track. Or do you mean the one where like you step on things and they like tilt, or like from the end of Grease?
Yes, I'm saying from the end of Grease. So you go through, there's like a suspension bridge and you have to get through some bands. This is something you have to climb through. So if you have to walk through it, it's not a ride.
All right. I still give a shout out to those haunted heists, because I'm a big fan of those.
Well, there is, I was going to say, there is a category of like, it's such a bad ride that it's fun. And there is at like state fairs and county fairs, everything has to like pack up to be like a transformer, has to turn into like a trailer, like a tractor or trailer truck sized towing thing.
Say that. Did you get that? Do you need to say it again?
I don't know. It's fine. It's just word salad all the time. But
that's my favorite kind of salad.
Yeah. You get on a little car and you go around, like you go up a level and then down a level, and it's like the least scary. Like the skeletons look tired and the vampires are like, they're either full of blood already or...
This one in particular had just been redone. So it's weird to see a janky haunted house that's got a few really incredible elements added to it.
Oh, that I would be interested in that.
So that is real. Like, there's a couple of like, all right, that's a really old skeleton. Oh my God, that's crazy. Like, like they'll have spent $1,000 on one sort of magic tableau in the thing. You're like, well, that was worth it.
Now,
but let's go back quickly and we'll eliminate the fun house because you're walking.
Right. I think that's fair. But I want to keep the crappy haunted house alive because there's something so kitschy about it. It feels like, like we must go on this.
Yeah.
Now,
look, are we just haunted houseophiles then? If we give the Haunted Mansion the win for best Disney ride and then we pick the bad version of it as best carnival ride?
I don't think it's going to be the best carnival ride. I just think it's one that should stick around a little longer.
All right. What are we missing? I feel like there are three big ones that I can think of that I know that we're missing right now.
Yes. One of them is just, let's talk about a straight up like wooden roller coaster or a small metal rail roller coaster.
For me, wooden coaster over metal every time.
I love wooden coasters, the creaky and like that part of the
a wooden roller coaster can be as beautiful as a beautiful carousel, more engineering than flamboyance, but yeah, I love a really good wooden roller coaster.
Yeah.
A metal roller coaster can bang you around a little too much. So I'm going to eliminate that, but I'm leaving that big wooden coaster into the finals. Would you agree?
I'm 100% okay with that. Although it's less of a carnival thing and more of a, this thing sits here all the time.
Yeah, but there are carnivals that have them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still thinking in our discussion of carnivals, I'm still going to count like, the San Jose waterfront.
Right.
Which is one of the world's great permanent standing carnivals.
Yes.
So I will leave the wooden coaster on that.
Okay.
That is one of the three that I was thinking. The log flume, the classic or in general water rides. The log flume, I think, is the most we could theoretically have this at a set it up, tear it down carnival. But there's the river rapids is a famous, permanent fixture.
I'd say there are three big water rides for carnivals.
What's that? The log flume?
Log flume is one. Bumper boats is another one.
Bumper boats,
because that you just set up a pool and you can put a bunch of boats in it. And then the third is the Tunnel of Love.
Oh, the Tunnel of Love.
And you know what? You know what's inside the Tunnel of Love, Mark?
Hepatitis.
I was just honestly asking you because I didn't date a lot growing up. Just want to know what's inside.
Oh, I can honestly tell you, hepatitis.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't go. It's just a bunch of rusty nails. Scrape you. The carnies were good folk.
Yeah, don't touch the water.
It's like Hep Z. It's like a new strain that they've come up with.
Carnival ride water is what happens when theme park ride water falls in the vat that the Joker fell in the Batman 1989 movie.
This carnival's brought to you by Axis Chemicals. I love log flumes. And
I'm a huge log flume fan. I was hoping you would say that because they are one of my favorites.
They're so much fun. And first of all, they can have multiple falls, so they're really refreshing on a hot day, and you can enjoy them in two different ways. So not only can you enjoy them as a rider, but if your friend's on there, you can wait. There's almost always a bridge right by the final fall where you can get drenched with water.
Oh yeah, that was always the big fun part when you came off of the log flume. If you didn't get wet enough, you're like, oh man, my buddy got drenched and I only got marginally soaked. I'm going to go stand on this deck that is a guarantee every time, just big, dumb spray of water.
I like them. I like it when it's definitely a log though. I want to be sitting in like a fake log. Is that weird?
What do you mean?
Like I want the boat in the log flume to be an actual log. Because I think there are some that are like other sort of designs.
I don't know that I've ever been on one that was a real log.
No, I don't mean I want an actual log in the water that I'm sitting on like it's a horse. I mean, I want the boat to look like a cutout log.
Yeah, I prefer the log. I've seen like the Viking ship and, I don't know, probably the banana. That seems like one that they would have at some carnival, right?
Yeah, the one that's run by chimpanzees.
Yeah. Oh man. Did you guys go to that chimp carnival?
Yeah, it's really good. They have one ride where they just get mad and rip your arms off. You know, it's when you get out of the Gravitron and your face is covered in puke. They don't like it.
No. They just shriek at you and tear you limb from limb. Man, that's still one of the worst newspaper articles I ever read. 'Cause I loved chimpanzees. Like that Matthew Broderick movie I loved. All the chimpanzee stuff. And then one day I open up the newspaper and it's like, chimpanzee rips off man's penis and arms. I could have stopped at the first, but
yeah, now
I'm scared of chimpanzees. So thanks for bringing that up.
And
you know what?
What?
Now I'm going to bring up clowns or something else that's scary to get chimpanzees out of my head. I assumed you would be.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
How dare you?
I assumed that you probably went to clown school and then like did it at synagogue. You know you did at some point, right? Am I the only one who went to clown school and then helped raise money for my church by making balloon animals?
Yes. In this
we're going way off topic.
Wait, that's right. You do know how to make balloon animals because when we were in Cabo San Lucas.
Let's keep going about the rides.
Fair enough. I have video from that.
I just wanted to stop you before you finished that sentence.
Yep, I know you did. There's one major ride that we have not discussed yet. That is a centerpiece of almost every carnival. Do you know what I'm talking about?
If it is the one that I think you might be talking about, this is the one that I was going to lead off with as this is my all-time favorite.
All right. It's the Music Express. The Music Express is a series of cars that goes around in a circle. It's sort of like a hilly circle, and they play whatever.
Hal. No.
Look,
I'm talking about the Ferris wheel.
Hold on. No, we're not talking about that yet. We're going to talk about this Music Express. Because when you are the youngest cousin, the older cousins want to go on that ride because they want to hear the Miami Sound Machine and Gloria Estefan doing 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, baby, say you love me. But
how many times?
5, 6, 7 times.
Great.
Now, you would go around in a circle on this thing, and the music would be playing so loud, like a contest to see how loud you could take it. And then there's like there are like cloth roofs that'll sometimes come up over these things, and then you'll go backwards, and there are lights going everywhere. And I just like, I didn't hate them, but I also felt like it was a ride I had to go on because other people wanted to go on it. Do you know the ride I'm talking about?
I never had this ride. This may have been an exclusive to Gene's fabulous Carnival Extraordinaire. That Canadian thing that you did.
It's everywhere. Yes, the Canadian tuxedo prom fair.
Yeah, look, by the end of this episode, I'm not sure what you were talking about. Something about a Canadian prom. Yeah.
Yes. That's right.
No, I did not have that ride. I understand. I feel like there's always some sort of music venue thing, whether it's the bumper cars or the, magic music train ride or whatever white van you got in. There was some sort of music centric thing where the cooler of the teenagers would hang out.
Yeah. It was like Song Blaster, and you'd get on it and it would play music at you while you went on a ride.
I feel like, nowadays it's a portable Dance Dance Revolution.
Probably. That's probably similar.
That would be my guess. I said this, by the way, apparently we are recording this 10 years ago.
I'm so glad that we're doing it. We're losing so much weight on those machines.
Oh my God. Did you hear Donald Trump wants to get into politics?
That'll never work. What about, those machines that are sort of similar to, it's what the Dumbo ride is based off of and what Astral Orbiter is based off of. Like it's
that's the swings.
No, not the swings, because you're in a
I
rocket
know, but it's
ship.
basically the swings, but without the chains with the swings on them.
No, it's better because you have a lever
not
and
better
you can
if it
go
goes
up and down. You can
All right. It is better if you have the lever.
That's what I'm saying. You have a lever.
I've seen them where you don't have the lever, that the thing just does it for you.
No, those are dumb. You have to have a lever because then you feel like you're an X-Wing fighter and you're in a dogfight with TIE fighters, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Every time.
Thank you.
Also, you never quite catch the person in front of you.
Nope. Try as you might.
I know. Look, this ride teaches children that life is about disappointment.
It's the most practical of the rides at the carnival. All right. So let's talk about Ferris wheels.
The Ferris wheel. I have a particular affinity for the Ferris wheel, because of one particular Ferris wheel. And I know I've given him a shout out on the show already, but I would like to give another shout out to Dino of Dino's Wonder Wheel. Mm-hmm. Because that to me is not only a quintessentially, and maybe I'm thinking about this because of New York City and I love this town. That is not only a quintessentially New York thing, that Ferris wheel and the Ferris wheel in particular is a quintessentially carnival thing. It is from miles away for 100 years. The Ferris wheel has said, "Hey everyone, there is fun happening over here." It is the best vantage point to look around and see the entire carnival in all its splendor. It is gentle enough for a family to ride. It has, the baskets that you can sit in are, secluded enough that if you're there on a date, you have a private moment with your date, whatever that means for you. Please, no serious funny business that's going to get anyone in trouble. It's just a lovely, I feel like it's the perfect carnival ride.
So you like to go to Coney Island and get in a little fornication pod and go around in a circle up and down.
Well, when you put it like that, Hal, it doesn't sound as cool. But how about if I tell you this about the particular one on Coney Island? You also get amazing views of New York City.
Cool. No, I like Ferris wheels just fine. And I like the ones that are a pod better than the ones where you just sort of sit in a seat with a lap bar.
Yeah.
Those tend to be shorter. Those are the ones you probably more commonly find. So we used to go to the Garden State Fair in the New Jersey State Fair because it was nearby. It was like right across.
Did Gene make that one too?
You know what? You better leave Gene alone. One of these days,
right, okay.
You're going to be in Philly and you're going to trip and hurt yourself and you're going to have to go to Gene for help.
Yeah. And she's going to wrap my finger in a towel paper.
Towel paper? What do you think? What do you think of us? What do you think of the people of Philadelphia?
I think the people of Philadelphia call paper towels towel paper, or at least my grandmother and grandfather did. Now that I'm thinking about it, that may have been the second generation Italian influence.
Thank you. I think you figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
So
pretzels are terrible.
How dare you? The Garden State Fair had, I guess, the world's largest or tallest Ferris wheel would travel to different fairs. And so it was in New Jersey. It was there.
Now, it was the world's tallest and it also traveled, or it was the world's tallest of the traveling ones?
It was the world's tallest and it also traveled.
Cool.
That was my understanding. That was their claim. Of course,
Great.
It would have been a huge lie.
Yeah. There were 4 baskets.
That's it.
It went up 19 feet.
Gigantic. I mean, you wouldn't even believe. I think that, that was sort of a must go on ride. I don't remember. I remember a roller coaster there that was like a steel track roller coaster that was small but fast and fun. And I remember it mostly because my best friend was on it with me and his Boston Red Sox hat flew off and they had to stop the ride to go get it.
Oh, wow. And they really did?
Yeah.
They weren't just like, oh, go piss up a tree, kid.
No, it was just in the middle of it. They could just turn it off and go, all right, we'll be right back. And then they went and got it. But
Right.
the Ferris wheel is like, you have to go in it. But I because of my crippling fear of heights, I would always freak out. I would try to enjoy the view, which I did, but I also was always very tense at the top of one of those Ferris wheels. So I'm kind of torn
Because of the height fear.
Yes. I mean, I certainly
Would you
not,
find more height fear if you were, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say I wouldn't rule it out at this point, but it's very hard to overcome that. If you have a fear of heights, then that is a difficult ride to go on.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Would the apex of the Ferris wheel or of the, roller coaster cause you more grief?
Ferris wheel, because the roller coaster, I know once we're at the top, we're about to start our descent immediately.
Oh, okay. Because at that point, it's gravity doing the job, not a potentially broken, greased up hydraulic arm.
Exactly. Yeah. On the roller coaster, I'm like, boy, this is a much longer climb than it seems. And look at everything. And I can't believe how high up we are. Oh my goodness. And then you get to the top and you're like, whoa, and then you're off. And you know that you're into it. The Ferris wheel, you never know how long it's going to take them to load and unload a gondola. So you could be up there for a long time. Also, what if we're up here because it broke down? If it broke down, what if the thing came? Like, it's very easy if you're afraid to come up with everything that could possibly go wrong.
What's the earliest age that you had that thought in that order that you remember?
10?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
9 or 10, somewhere in there.
All right. But like the time that you would start riding them, it wasn't like you enjoyed them and that at a certain point you were like, oh no, I need to stop. It's always been a thing that was like you were skeptical of.
I still go on them because I want to conquer the fear and because I do enjoy the view. Like I like going on the ride, not by myself. That's like a social thing. But like a couple of years ago at the California or the county fair, I think it was the Orange County Fair. Jennifer and I went on the Ferris wheel and she did not like the heights either. So both of us were like, why are we on this?
Yeah. Why did you guys decide to go on the Ferris wheel?
I just thought like, oh, it'll be fun. We'll do it together. It'll be romantic because we're on a date. We went to the Ferris wheel. Again, did not date a lot growing up. So I just figured we go on the Ferris wheel. But yeah, it was, you have
That's
to
what you
go,
do. I saw that in a movie once.
Right. One person in the gondola has to not have fears. Because otherwise it just compounds very quickly.
Oh yeah. I imagine that's the tiny spiral chamber.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is.
So let me ask you this. It sounds like, the ones that we've kept till the end are the ones that we have an affinity for. Even with, the certain fear of heights, you can understand the impact of it. Does it sound like we're getting close to narrowing it to a few? At this point, I would say I would put the wooden roller coaster and the Ferris wheel in the finals. Is there anyone else that you would see going into the finals for this?
I would put the log flume in the finals. I would put the haunted house in the finals. And I would also put bumper cars in the finals, which we have not talked about, but let's get into that. Let's take a brief break.
Great.
And when we come back, we will talk about bumper cars and our other finalists, and we'll make a decision. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful to me. How about you guys?
They agree. Here we go.
Sounds good.
What's a great French film about lady cannibals?
What's the song of the summer?
How do you say cheese in Spanish?
What should I binge watch next?
Hey, how did Crash win Best Picture? I'm still mad about that.
For answers to these questions and so much more, come on over to Pop Rocket, a pop culture roundtable show with me, Guy Branum.
Winter Mitchell.
Margaret Wappler.
And Karen Thompson.
Catch us every Wednesday on MaximumFun.org or wherever you decide to get your podcasts. I'm not going to judge.
Mugs, shirts, stickers, patches, tanks, and more are yours for the purchasing at MaxFunStore.com. Hey, you already love the podcasts, so why not take this to the next level and outfit your home and bod with our merch? MaxFunStore.com. Because if you have to wear a shirt, it should be one of ours.
All right, let's talk about bumper cars.
Do we have to for very long? We know that they're going to electrocute you. We know that, as soon as you hit someone and can't quite get out of the little jam up you're in, then you're just kind of stuck there for the rest of the ride.
Does it feel like the person who turns it on is controlling who can step on the gas and make their car move and who can't?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that is
like, hey, why don't you get into a car that you think you're driving when really you have no control over the wheel?
But also, is there a better feeling than having somebody in your sights and making contact with them?
There is not a better feeling when you are in the process, but the payoff is never that good.
No, because it's just a gentle. It's not like you're not causing a serious accident. You're just bumping them.
I want them in a neck brace, and I want their doors dented. Like, if I'm going to deliberately ram into another car, it's going to be a person I am not happy with, probably because they stole some government documents that I was supposed to be watching, and I'm going to ram them off the road, like, with my big black Suburban that I stole.
Jeez.
From the FBI.
It's just some bumper cars, man.
I'm sorry. I went off track there for a second. I was just remembering part of my to-do list for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, geez.
I'm moving back to LA a lot sooner than I thought, Hal.
I'm going to make a quick phone call. 911.
Ooh. I want to call them.
No problem. They'll be calling you.
Oh, great.
All right. So what are our finalists? We've got the merry-go-round. We've got the Ferris wheel.
We don't have the merry-go-round. We have the carousel. The carousel is the more classy, right?
We have the carousel. We have the Ferris wheel. We have the wooden roller coaster, the haunted house, and bumper cars.
All right. So we have our list of the top 5. Do we want to just start eliminating them? We'll go back and forth.
Sure.
Great. I'll go ahead. Eliminate bumper cars.
Okay. Now what's left?
The wooden roller coaster, the Ferris wheel, the haunted house, and the log flume.
I feel like the log flume is too similar to the wooden roller coaster, which I think is going to go longer.
Okay. So, we also had said the carousel, so I'll also give you that one.
Yeah, now I'll still eliminate the log flume. I enjoy them a lot, but also if it's cold, like it's not an all-weather ride. If it's a cooler day, you don't want to go on it.
I am going to eliminate as much fun as I have in them and enjoying their kitsch factor. If it is their kitsch factor that has kept them into the finals, I'm going to say goodbye now with much love and respect to the haunted house. So we are now looking at the wooden coaster, the Ferris wheel, and the carousel.
I think I'm going to eliminate the roller coaster.
Wow.
When I think of a carnival, not all carnivals have a roller coaster. Like a smaller one, I guess it has some version of it, but I just feel like a carousel or a Ferris wheel, like those are just more iconic to me. And I do like a roller coaster. Sorry, everybody.
So does this come down to me?
Yeah.
It's rare that you and I do eliminate one at a time when it's just the two of us.
Yes.
Because we always try to make our guest be the final one, but I guess it's going to be me this time.
It's your turn.
I'll say this about the Ferris wheel and the carousel. Both of them to me, I find to be stunning works of art and, engineering. I almost said Imagineering, but I've been around Disney too long. Stunning feats of engineering and art. And, they're just beautiful. They can be beautiful works of art. As I said about the roller coaster as well. They are stunning. Not only that, but they are stunning examples of Americana to me. I know that they were not all maybe invented in the United States. Probably weren't.
I don't think either.
Great. That sounds awesome. But that to me evokes sort of that meet me in St. Louis Americana, like when the Carnival was king. Make sense?
Yes.
That said, I have seen more spectacular views both of and from a Ferris wheel than I have seen from the most beautiful of carousels. So for that reason, and I'm thinking about the London Eye, I'm thinking about the Wonder Wheel in Coney Island, some of these iconic Ferris wheels. For that reason, I am going to say that our winner this week, the best carnival ride, if Hal agrees, and if the next words out of his mouth are people of the world, that means he does. I'm going to say the best carnival ride is the Ferris wheel.
People of the world.
Oh, good.
You can't have a great carnival without a Ferris wheel. It's just one of those things you have to go on and experience. You do get, not only do you get great views of whatever city you're in, but a carnival, while it can be a little dirty, a little scruffed around the edges when you're up close. When you look at it from far away as the sun is setting or as the sun has just set and the sky is sort of purple and you see all the lights and all the sounds and the kids laughing and the people, just everybody having a good time, that view, there's something about it that brings peace out of the chaos. And that's part of what makes the Ferris wheel so great. It's not only a ride in and of itself and a thrill, but it's really a chance to have a vantage point. I mean, a monorail or those like people mover type things where they suspend you from a wire and move you around so you can see everything. Those are fun enough, although most of them seem like death traps.
What the hell are you talking
those
about?
Things, you know those things where it's like a ski lift and you just sit in a bench and it takes you around.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, those things, those are death traps. Every time I'm like, thank God I didn't fall out this time. But the Ferris wheel is that perfect mesh of well-engineered ride, fun ride, and thrilling ride if you are terrified of heights like I am, and also an ability to get a beautiful vantage point for an extended period of time, which no other ride really offers you the way a Ferris wheel does. And yes, it is terrifying every time that thing stops at the top. I do wonder if this is the time. I really start to think like, I can't imagine waking up tomorrow because I'm stuck at the top of this Ferris wheel. I've lost all perspective on what the future might be. But maybe that's part of what makes it such a great ride, is it does so much in terms of providing a thrill with so very little. And it doesn't even need to be the kind of Ferris wheel that they have at California Adventure where some of them are on tracks. So they swing around. That's a whole other nightmare. Just like a well done gondola that you sit in and it takes you to the top and you see everything. There is a peace in the fear that even I can appreciate as somebody with an almost crippling fear of heights. And that is why the Ferris wheel is the greatest carnival ride. Asked and answered. Thank you, Mike Martinez, for suggesting such a great topic.
Yeah, this one was fun. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, everybody, for listening. And if you have more topics, please reach out to us. This topic is covered, but people are still arguing about things, and Hal and I have some work to do, it turns out. So reach out to us on Twitter at We Got This Tweets, or check out the Maximum Fun subreddit. A flame war might be happening right now.
Email us at wegotThisPodcast@gmail.com or join the best darn Facebook group on the planet, facebook.com/groups/We Got This Podcast. Thank you to producer Ken Plume, graphic designer Uri Kelman, researcher Kate McManus, and QA engineer Jen Alba.
And thank you, as always, to our musicians, Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman, for our score and theme song, respectively. And thanks to you, our listeners. You know what? It's not often I would get into the tilt-a-whirl or the teacup ride, but with you by my side, I would spin into oblivion with you, dear listener, and we would throw up all over ourselves and each other out of pure love and admiration. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin, and don't worry, everybody.
We got this.
Oh, God.
We got this.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.